Guys, it's not enough just to care about the earth. We have to protest that we don't get extinct by climate change. It's a worldwide phenomenon. You've heard of it. You've seen it, right? Climate change. From worldwide activists,
how dare you,
to big promotions by companies. It's here, and it's not going to go away. It's changing every aspect of our lives in a way that I don't know if I want it to, and you'll see what I mean throughout this video. But again, guys, we're here to ask the vital questions in life, and we're not wasting time today. We're getting straight into it. We're going to be asking, what does the Bible say about climate change? Is this something that we should be worried about? Is it something that, I don't know, will it kill all of our generations to come? And will there be anyone left on Earth after the Great Extinction? I think that's what they're talking about. Are we going to face destruction by our own actions? Okay, so let's have a look at what the Bible says. So in Genesis 2:15, it says that man was created for the garden to care for it. So this is before Adam and Eve sinned, obviously. It's before they went to that snake, that little guy down there. I mean, wasn't a little guy, it was the devil. And basically they ate the fruit. They fell into sin. We all know the story. And God, before this, he told them, hey, I'm putting you in this garden and just look after it, care for it, love it, How are we doing on this these days? And that's what we're going to be talking about today.
I failed.
But I don't think this just was standing for Adam and Eve before they sinned. I think after they sinned, God still wanted us to look after the earth. He's not going to say, hey, just because you're in sin, go for it, trash the earth, pour chemical waste, dig it up. I don't care. I don't really care what you do with the thing. No. See, I think he still wants us to look after the earth and care for it, and I think that is standing for all creation, right? We have to look at each other, you and me. That's what the 10 Commandments are all about. It's about how do we care for each other and our relationship with God. So that, I think we can extend that to all creation. I mean, it's kind of common sense, right? We need to just protect the world we're on to some degree. And again, I'm not trying to say that climate change is in the Bible, but just wait. Again, to further this point, in Revelation 11:18, God says that he will destroy those who destroy the earth. So there you go. That's pretty clear. He cares about his earth. He cares about his creation. Like in Genesis, right? He said, what I created is good. So I'm sure that means we shouldn't destroy it, right? But let me ask you one question. Every time something happened on like a global, worldwide kind of, not even global, worldwide, but just like a catastrophe, who did it? Was it us by our actions, or was it God through some kind of judgment on the earth? Welcome to the game show. We're going to be asking some questions today. So, Noah's flood, was it God or us humans by our CO2 emissions? Yeah, very good. It was God. Destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. Climate change or God? God. The plagues in Egypt. Climate change or God? God, right? Yeah. Good job. The sun and moon standing still when Joshua and the Israelites were fighting the Amorites. Climate change or God? Yep. This one's a little bit harder. Matthew 24/Luke 21. When Jesus is warning about the end of the world, is it God or is it climate change? Is he going to be causing all these crazy signs to be happening, or is it just, the natural phenomenon of apparently what we're causing? Yeah, you guessed it. God sending these as a sign. So he lists earthquakes, he lists famines, he lists pestilences, he lists signs in the sun, moon, and stars. You catch it, right? It's all climate stuff. So what am I trying to make a point about climate change? What am I getting to? And you might be thinking, yo, Aaron, just get to the point. I'm getting there, don't worry. According to the Bible, every time the climate has something done to it, it's manipulated by God as a judgment or a sign to his people. So while the Bible teaches us to care for the earth and all of creation, it doesn't teach us that climate change is a great disaster we need to look for out and to get wrapped up in. It doesn't even say that we're going to cause this catastrophe or anything. It every single time the Bible talks about destruction, It's by God, it's his judgment. So we don't have a part to play in this. God is the one that gives judgment. And to be honest, climate change has moved far beyond just caring for the environment. It's gotten to a point where it's literally in policy. It's in everything that we do. It's in everything we eat. It's going to change the world. So to be frank, the agendas coming from the climate movement is getting pretty wild at the moment. You have the idea of enforced climate lockdowns, carbon footprint tracking.
We're developing, through technology, an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint. What does that mean? That's where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So, individual carbon footprint tracker. Stay tuned. We don't have it operational yet, but this is something that we're working on.
You know, that's pretty crazy. Climate Sundays, they want to initiate that, like a day of worship, basically. The WHO's pandemic treaty to stop pandemics as a result of climate change, you know, just basically hands over your nation's decision making into the hands of the WHO. You know, when they suspect a pandemic, your country has no right to do what they want.
Fantastic, super, mind-blowing, unbelievable.
You know, these agendas are played out by individuals like the World Economic Forum, the Vatican, the WHO, and basically all governments as they are signed on to implement these things. You know, these are just a few ways the climate movement is moving beyond the simple messages of just looking after the earth, if you know what I'm saying. You may think that all of the above mentioned policies benefit the climate and enact societal and cultural change, and you might be true on that. There might be, I'll give you a grain of salt. Basically, sure, whatever, maybe it does do something. The best case scenario, they might mitigate just a little bit of our effects on the planet. And this is hypothetical. It still doesn't mean that the government can come and take everything that we enjoy as humans. It can't just come in our lives and invade our basic privacies and the curtailing of our freedom. But seriously, if you're going to put the Bible thinking caps on, what does this all sound like to you? I'll give you a second to think. What does this all sound like to you? What does it sound like? You know, you have this global kind of cabal, if I can use that word. You have this idea of governments and people coming together under one person, which we haven't really talked about too much today, but we will in a couple videos. But you have all these people coming under one banner for one purpose, and if we're gonna be real, like what we were saying before, they're changing the laws to try and control us, right? What does this sound like? Think about it. Come on. Yeah, does it sound like the image of the beast? Does it? Okay, so basically, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the image of the beast is a system that all the world follows at the end of time. It's enforced on the citizens of the world, and people go along with it. It is a prelude and context for the beast having its power to actually give out the mark of the beast. So remember, no man can buy or sell unless they receive the mark of the beast on their forehead or hand, right? We remember that verse, yeah? But how does the beast actually get its power? And I believe that this is part of that forming of the image. The image is where it's talked about in Revelation, and we'll get into it deeper next time. But the ability to actually implement this type of control is unfolding before our very eyes. The Pope, the beast, the actual Antichrist himself, has made climate change a massive focus as his reign as the Pope. And guess who's behind a lot of these climate change policies? Yeah, you guessed it. It's this guy. His encyclical Fratelli Tutti, his other encyclical called Laudato Si. These things, guys, have a read of them, and they will kind of show you what I'm talking about. They're moving the church from a very like biblical kind of perspective to one that's more geared towards social things like climate change, and they're using it to basically bring people under his rule again, and you'll see what I mean. It's a lot. That's all show for him to restore his little mortal wound, you know, the one that he got, and everyone just to march along with him on the yellow brick road to Oz. But imagine if Oz was, you know, basically the return of the Dark Ages, where the Pope controls everything and everyone, just like he did in Europe. So that's what he wants. He wants papal supremacy again. And I'm just a little bit not too keen on that. I don't really want to live in a world that is governed by the Pope. But yeah, it's very interesting stuff, and I'll link some videos below for you guys to actually learn more about this. But the Bible talks about 7 last plagues that will fall on the wicked. And this is before the return of Jesus. And again, these are judgments directly from the hand of God. They're not from climate change. These are climate judgments, basically. We need to be looking for the return of Jesus and build our relationship with him so that we don't fall into that people who receive the last plagues. So we shouldn't really be thinking about climate change. It's not going to end us or be the reason for our extinction. Like seriously, I searched the Bible. It's not in there. So hey, take a chill pill, relax. Ephesians 1:11 says all things work in accordance of his will. If climate change catastrophes happen, don't panic, don't freak out, just trust God. He is in control and have assurance of that. Also remember, before you go putting on your little Extinction Rebellion uniform, remember this isn't what you should be concerned about if you're a Bible-believing Christian. There are bigger issues coming, like the mark of the beast, like the image of the beast that are forming before our very, very eyes, and they're actually spoken about in the Bible. We're meant to be looking forward to Jesus' second coming, not trying to prevent the destruction of Mother Earth. So hey, make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel. Till next time guys, put the armor of God on. Come on, just do it. And see ya.